con prisa y escondiéndonos o nada. Amor, esto es hacer a un pájaro volar con las alas atadas. ¿Por qué no olvidar el que dirán? Y lucir nuestro amor por todo el mundo. Amantes de verdad. Y si se han de enterar, que se enteren y punto. Y que si nos llaman de todo y que si nos juzgan o no y que aquí solo contamos tú y yo. Y que si nos cierran las puertas y que...
Good evening. Welcome to a special edition of the International Grapevine. This is your host, Wallingford Lee. Tonight on International Grapevine, we're bringing to you a little bit of salsa music, a little bit of merengue, and all type of music. But more importantly, today we have a special guest, someone that we have had the opportunity to deal with her before, a fantastic and great singer that really does a great job. So we want to take this opportunity in behalf of the family of the Grapevine all over Queens, New York, and Florida, especially in Miami, and also in Tampa Bay, to bring to you this fantastic artist. I'm talking about Miosotis, who have hit the road running, who have had the opportunity to work with her and give us a great deal of pleasure and, of course, satisfaction to have her on International Grapevine once again sharing with you. Mio, welcome to our program.
Thank you. I'm very, very glad to be here once again after so many years. We actually did this a while ago, and it's my pleasure to be here again. I love you. You're my brother, and thank you for inviting me again.
Well, you're always welcome, no question about it. We got to be honest with you. A couple of people reach out to me and said, well, you've done a couple of things with Miosotis, especially my nephew. And he says, why don't you have her back on again? And I started scratching my head. I said, you know what? In reality, she's extremely busy, but I'm going to try to get her. And if she doesn't come on, I'll call her dad. And he started laughing. He said, well, call her father. Let's get her back on again.
Awesome.
Here you are. So here you are. And it's good to have you, honestly speaking, especially with all the great success that you have always had. But now more than ever, you've gone up a lot of stairs. I'm going to touch those things. Well, let's start out a little bit talking about how did you get into salsa? The reason I asked that, I know for a while that you did start it with that great maestro, Wilfredo Vargas, and Wilfredo Vargas was always merengue, aquí, merengue, acá. So we want our viewing audience, as we're getting deeper in other things, of how did you get started? Was it Wilfredo, or you went straight to salsa when you got started?
That's a very good question, my friend. A lot of people ask me that because I did start in the merengue genre when I was 15, 16 years old, with Wilfredo Vargas. And then I also was in other bands that also did merengue, like the New York Band and Altamira Banda Show. Salsa came about because when I first got out of the New York Band and I decided to be a solo artist, my record label that I was with at that time, he asked me to do this song called Senora, and I never had done salsa before. I'm like, but I don't do salsa, I told him, and he goes, I don't care what you do, but record this song. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I did it. Luckily, people liked it. It became a really big hit in a lot of places, and basically the people asked me for more salsa. That's what happened. The public actually enjoyed my music as a salsera, so of course the record label decided, okay, so let's move that route. And now I've been doing salsa for 20 something years now because of that particular song, Senora.
Very, very interesting. I think I gave you the story about Senora. I happened to be up in the mountains of Costa Rica driving a Jeep with a couple of my nephews and stuff like that. And we turned on the radio and Senora came on, and I was blown away because we were driving from Costa Rica to Panama, going through the roads and through the mountains. And I said, damn, that sounds good. I think I know her. And my nephew said, oh, tío, tú no sabes nada. Don't change the station. And on the way coming back from Panama 2 days after, the song was playing again. And I said, no, I got to find out you know, who wrote this song, who is the singer, and it just blew me away. And I think I started reaching out to you, and then we finally connect. But that Senora was a big hit, and even today, when you go to certain clubs and stuff like that, it comes
Yes,
on, and
it's
it's in
still.
demand.
Cuando supe toda la verdad, señora, ya era tarde para echar atrás, señora, ya era parte de mi vida y él ya era mi sombra. Yeah.
Became a classic. So I'm very appreciative of how people actually still enjoy that song. After that, I recorded other salsas, which basically, like I said, my band that I perform with is primarily salsa because of that. I did Compárame and Si Voy a Perderte, Mala, Al Diente. Then I started doing salsa after that because that song became such a big hit.
Well, make no mistake about when we talk about Senora Big Hit, and Comparame too was a monster, was really a monster. I mean, I went to a couple of clubs and I am a little more relaxed, but when I hear those songs, I get out on the floor and stuff like that. And it's a big echo to you, and make no mistake about it. So, in other words, you started with Wilfredo,
Mhm.
and like anything else, you went into the other side. After you got into salsa, did you miss the merengue or anything like that from Wilfredo, or you
Well, I
just found your route and just went from there?
it's not like I don't do merengue. I still do merengue when I do my shows. I'm primarily salsa because that's basically what I became. In fact, last year no, when I first did my album with Senora, it was named Nace una estrella, a star is born. And
A
last year
born
when I
song.
went to Mexico, they started calling me La Estrella de la Salsa. So basically, I'm more into the salsa now. But it's not like I don't do merengue. I do it when I do my shows with my band, and so it's not like I can't miss it because it's always in me anyway. I still do it.
That's good. That's good. When they presented Senora to you and you look at the lyrics, did it draw your attention, or you felt with just your voice you will get it done?
Did I? I'm sorry. Did I catch my
No,
attention?
yeah, when they brought Senora to you and you look at the lyrics, did you like it at the beginning, or you just felt it was something that was going to take you?
You know me pretty well, don't you? Okay. When I first heard the lyrics, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this song because it's talking about being unfaithful to with a married guy, and oh
Hmm.
my God, I don't do that. What? I actually did have a little pushback for that. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do the song, and my record label said the guy's like, you have to do it. It's a good song. You got to do it. He basically begged me. I'm like, fine, but
And it
like I
worked
said,
out.
it worked out. People liked it, and I am an actress as well. So I said, okay, it's not like I did that, but I'm gonna go for it, and I do my job, and that's what it is.
Qué
I
bien, qué
started liking
bien.
it
Very
after
good.
I started liking it, so I said, okay, it's a pretty good song.
And I imagine cuando lo grabaste and you played back, I imagine you must have said, "Oh my God, a good thing I took it." It made
I was
sense.
actually it did give me it was like my first big hit as a solo artist because I had hits with the New York band Dame Vida
Sure.
and Azúcar, and I had hits before on the radio and all over the place. But it was my first big hit as a solo artist, so that was like what gave me the push as a solo artist. So absolutely, I'm very appreciative and very grateful that people actually like the song.
And that's a good song. As we talk about salsa a little bit, we know that salsa was very heavy in the New York area, brought in by the Cubans and the Puerto Ricans. And then for a while, it kind of got quiet. Um, but having an artist like you, a star like you, has brought it back to reality. I mean, I listen to some of the radio stations in New York, and they always throw out your song and stuff like that. Who are some of the guys them in salsa or ladies in salsa when you started that you look up to or that you were impressed with
In salsa genre or
in
general?
yeah, in salsa in general?
Well, in general, there was all sorts of artists because I was raised and born in New York, so I actually my forte wasn't even Latin music. It was more R&B and pop. So of course I had the background of Aretha Franklin and Whitney Houston and that kind of
Wow.
genre.
Wow.
So I actually came into the salsa and merengue because of my dad and my parents. Basically, he would put it in my house. Um, so as for Latin, in the Latin genre, my I used to look up to Celia Cruz, obviously, right? The la reina de la salsa, of course, la reina
Azúcar.
del merengue, Sada as
Mhm.
well. So I had those people in salsa and merengue that I would actually look up to.
Wow. Well, you look up at some good ones, no question. And the fact that you have grown so much and done so well, I'm sure salsa has been good to you. But I love what you say. You love all the music, and you can easily do merengue, I'm sure of. And I saw in your bio that you even went out to Texas and you had the opportunity of meeting Selena's father and stuff like that. So, do you
Yes.
do that type of music every now and again also?
I have. I don't do it on stage often unless the crowd actually asks for it, because it's not what I do as an artist. As Miosotis is mostly salsa and sometimes merengue, but mostly salsa. The genres of pop and R&B and Tex-Mex and all that, I've done it. I've done all kinds of music over my life. In fact, my first album was more Tex-Mex and pop. But once I
Wow.
became a salsa artist, I stuck to that
And that's
because
a
I
good.
want people what they want. Since they appreciated my music as a salsera, I want to give my public what they're asking for.
Well, it's interesting. I love salsa music, and some of the lyrics them are so beautiful. It's about
Mm.
love and stuff like that, and I really like them. I can think of Gran Combo. I can think about that Colombian band that's pretty good also. That
Nietzsche.
Nietzsche. They are a monster. I saw them a couple
I
of
actually
times, and
performed with them last
they're
year. Yeah.
yeah, they are the real deal. Even though the main singer passed away, they're still coming out with new material and stuff like that. But Grupo Nietzsche surprised me. And I know for a fact that you went to Colombia. When you went to Colombia, how were you received in Colombia?
Oh, the Colombian people actually always have supported my music. Always. The first thing, and when I started singing as a solo artist, the people that mostly gave me support, aside, well, in New York, was Colombian, Puerto Rican, Dominican, and Ecuadorian and Mexican. Those are like the main
Wow.
people in that. But that Colombian always had my back, always, definitely.
That's good. That's good. And I can tell you, they're pretty good in salsa. I saw quite a few videos with them and their dancing step and stuff like that in Colombia. It's very heavy. And I know Grupo Nietzsche had a lot to do with it, but I read in an article about you in Colombia that you were well received and the crowd was bomba, and I
Yeah.
and I said to myself, well, I didn't know she were in Colombia. Well, we had not talked for a while and stuff like that, but I'm sure that you like it. And have you been back to Colombia since you've been there a
Uh,
couple of times?
Yes, I was actually there in November, a couple of months ago, in Cali, and I went to the Museum of Salsa in Cali, the Museo de la Salsa, the Museum of Salsa. And in fact, they have one of my garments, one of my outfits that I wore to do the national anthem at City Field in November last year, and they put it as one of the exhibits in Cali, in the
Wow.
Salsa in Cali. So yeah, absolutely.
Very
I love.
interesting. Very interesting. I know at one time I think you traveled with Valentin. When we finished doing the last program, I think you were going to China or to Europe
It
with
with Dave Valentin and the Negro and Robbie band. I was in Japan.
exactly. How was
Yes.
that when you went away? Because I said to myself, "Wow, she's going. I think she's going to China and all those places." And I said, well, "I wonder how that's going to be received." I know Valentin is great and he's more into jazz, but I know you're
Awesome.
multifaceted. So I said, if she's going, then she knows what she's doing. How was that trip, and how was you received in general, and what it
Oh,
took what took place for you?
it was amazing. The Japanese public loves salsa, and we actually did a mixture of Latin jazz with salsa, and so it was amazing. It was very exhilarating how they actually love the music. They do what you tell them. You tell them to get up and dance, they do it. It's I love it. We went to Tokyo. We were playing at the Blue Note in Tokyo.
Wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow. Were you intimidated a little by jazz when you went out there to because of Valentin, or you didn't need it?
Not really. No, I'm very. I do my due diligence when I'm going on stage with any type of music that I do. I like to prepare myself. So no, I wasn't intimidated. I actually was very uh, excited to do it because it was my first time doing Latin jazz at that time.
Good, great. Well, it shows again multi-talented, and you're not afraid of anything, and you take chance. And I think you have the steps. I think you have the voice. I think you have the aura. You know how to capture an audience. I have seen you when I was with Banco Popular. There was a special, and you were the first artist that came up. I took my wife, and she said to me, "Esa no es tu amiga Miosotis?" I said, "Yes." And she said, "Pero ella es buenísima." you know, and
Thank
we really enjoyed. And most of the thing, you were never intimidated. Let's talk about you. As we're running around, your first album that you put together. How was it received by the radio station? Because the radios are very demanding sometimes. Did you only
you.
have a one hit song in there in that particular first album, or you had more than one hit on it?
Actually, my first album was the one that's called Hazme Soñar. It's the one that had pop and Tex-Mex on it mostly, and the one that they performed that they put on the radio was actually a Tex-Mex. It was called Maldito Amor, written by my friend and producer Remy Nunez, which is oddly enough we actually started working together a couple of years ago again, and he's the one that's been producing my new salsas as well, Remy Nunez. Um, and it was very well received. I've actually been blessed. I'm so happy and so appreciative and so grateful that people, when for some reason they actually support what I do. And I've done it so long that it's second nature to me. I just love I'm a very big people person, is what it is, I think. And when I sing, I do it because I love it, and I portray what I feel, my love to the people, to the public. And I think that's maybe has something to do with it. You know?
That's a good thing. Obviously, that's a good thing because it captures the attention and that database stay with you in terms of the public that love you. Do you do your own writing every now and again? You write over your own song?
I am. I'm also a writer, songwriter, composer. I am also a musician. I play instruments as well, like piano, a little guitar, and I do percussion as well, congas.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm a songwriter. In fact, I've a lot of the songs that I wrote that are in that first album. At least half of them are my compositions. And the other ones, I wrote some salsas. Mala is one of my songs. It's in my
Cool.
third album called Ardiente. So I wrote that song. And the new ones that I've done after that, I've done a few singles that I've put out. One is called Bailo para Insinuarte. It's actually out. If you look on my YouTube channel, Miosotis Music, you can actually see some of the new songs that I put out that are that are my compositions as well. In fact, Hazme Soñar, the first album, that's
Yes.
also my lyrics as well.
Oh, that's
So yeah,
beautiful. Well, it takes a special skill to write songs, and that skill it demand imagination, and the fact that you can play a few instruments. I'm quite sure when the ideas come to you, not only do you write, you're probably jumping in, just whether the guitar or piano, and kind of get push it, and that's beautiful that you can write your own music, and it's all extremely creative, and it comes from here, and of course from here. So when you put something like that out, it gives you a certain amount of satisfaction because it's coming del corazón, which is a good thing. I didn't know you write your own music, so that's
yeah.
catchy. That's very nice. You know, but you have people that write for
Actually,
you every now and again also.
for the pandemic, that's basically what I did. I wrote like 20, 30 songs. that's that's
Wow.
all I write songs. And then when everything started opening up again, then I started producing, which is basically what I'm doing now. I'm producing new music. I'm gonna bring out my new album very soon. I've already started I sent out the first two singles last year and the year before. I started putting the singles, but I'm performing. I'm putting together a whole album that should be out very soon.
That's good to know. As we continue here talking to this great, fantastic artist, Miosotis, we'll be right back on the International Grapevine. And give us so much pleasure to have the opportunity to talk to her. A lady that's so creative and always in demand and also very caring. She's always been very respectful to our public and caring. And we love having her on the program. So our viewing audience can see her and know where she's been. I know she's been to the Copa. I know she played in Madison Square Garden. And I know she even sang the national anthem in Yankee Stadium. But we'll get to that when we get back on the International Grapevine with my special guest.
Si tuviera tu cuerpo y no tu espacio, si pudiera trazar el calendario, no descansaría hasta probar, convencerte que te amo, pero sé que estoy soñando, tonto, no vuelve una oportunidad perdida, nunca regreses una sola en esta vida. Es que vamos a amarnos siempre así, con prisa y escondiéndonos o nada. Amor, esto es hacer a un pájaro volar con las alas atadas. ¿Por qué no olvidar el que dirán? Y lucir nuestro amor por todo el mundo. Amantes de verdad, y si se han de enterar, que se enteren y punto. Y que si nos llaman de todo y que si nos juzgan o no y que aquí solo contamos tú y yo.
And we're back here in International Grapevine, having the opportunity here to work with this beautiful young lady, Miosotis, great singer, salsa singer, merengue singer, and and she's been all over New York and a good part of the world, and bringing our message with our songs. Mio, we also were aware that for a while, I think you worked for El Señor Mercado. Or did he used to manage you for a while, or no?
You mean, oh, I was signed to Rough Mercado Management. You mean that's what
Right.
you're talking about? I was
Yeah,
signed to
Rafa
the Record
Mercado.
Mercado Management when I was with the New York band, actually, from like 89 to 94, 1994. So I was basically part of the record label back then.
Okay, understand. Well, let's talk a little bit about two things. There's a song out now, Ike. Once I'd like to know who wrote that song, and I listened to it 5 or 7 times. That's what gave me the idea. I said, I gotta find her. I gotta find her. I listened to it, and it blew me away. I want to find out one who wrote it, the inspiration from the song, because you give so much of your soul into the song. Well, most of the songs that you do, but that's a beautiful song. Tell me a little
You
bit
know,
about.
you know what's funny about it? A lot this generation doesn't necessarily know that song, but it's actually a remake from a ballad that a big, huge artist, Mexican artist called Jose Jose used to do in the 70s.
I've
It's
heard of her.
basically a ballad that I transformed into a salsa. So a lot of people in this generation do not see it as a brand new song, which is great. And the people that knew it before, they like the new, you know, the new version of it. Actually, it's Ike. It it's a song that's basically talking about a people that are in a relationship that have some kind of uh, impediment, right? And the guy, the person is talking to the other person in the relationship, saying, "So what? who cares about what they say, who cares about what they do. The only people that are important in this relationship is me and you, kind of thing, you know. So I liked it because I like freedom. I like everyone being able to love freely in each other without having to worry about what this one says, what that one says. Just be happy and love each other. You know, that's basically what it's all about.
Well, I know it was a song from Jose, but I know you put your touch into it. And when I heard it, that's what I'm saying. It blew me because I knew the song from way back when. I said, "Oh my God, this is a new version," which means that you gave it that special touch. And I mean, I let two friends of mine listen to it in New York, and they said,
Hmm.
"Damn it, it's good." I said, "I told you she's super bad. She's not bad. She's super bad." And
Thank you.
I'm not joking. I listened to it, and one night my wife said, "Why are you hooking it?" I said, "Es mi amiga." I said, "Oh, es Miosotis." I said, "So déjame dejarte entonces." But
Yeah,
you did a beautiful version of it. No, honestly speaking, great job
thank
on it.
you.
Great job. Los
And
arreglos
with
and
that
everything.
song, and being that the fact that it's from Jose, such a huge artist in Mexico, I actually got to go to Mexico last year, and it was the first Dominican Latin artist to sing in the Auditorio Nacional, in the National Auditorium in Mexico City. So I'm the first one to do that, and I was able to perform with the Grupo Nietzsche actually in that Auditorio Nacional in Mexico because of that song. ¿Y qué?
Great stuff. Great stuff. I love it and I'll continue to love it. Let's talk a little bit. I know for a fact you got a big award. You did some work with Sergio Vargas recently in the Dominican Republic, and we were thrilled to find out that you got an award. Tell us a little bit how the idea came that you guys worked together, and talk to
um,
me afterward about the award. But when I know that you were working with him, you guys came together. I was thrilled because he's a good one too. He's
he's
definitely a good
amazing.
artist.
Yes. Sergio Vargas. He's a very good friend, and he contacted me a couple of years ago. We were working, talking, and he mentioned that he wanted to do a duet with me. So I'm like, of course, let's do it. And we ended up doing a duet that he included in his album called A Mi Manera, which actually won the Latin Grammy in 2023. Now in November 2023, won the Latin
Wow!
Grammy Best Merengue Album. So I got a Latin Grammy as well. So I'm very excited about that, my friend.
Congratulations to both of you. Congratulations to both of
Thank
you. How was it
Yes.
working with him? I mean, because he can be a demanding guy. Because I know him personally, he can be a demanding
Mhm.
guy sometimes when it comes to work. How was it working with him? The experience.
Awesome. He's very supportive. He's very professional, like you as well. Very quick to record and very quick to do the vocals and the harmonies. Very amazing. Very good. I enjoyed it
When you guys
a lot.
when you guys did the song, was with a band or you just sang it and then after they put the music to it?
Well, we had the arranger do that's also a remake from a song ballad that he actually brought up to me that was done by Anthony Rios and Yoladita Monge. It's called Oportunidad Perdida, and he brought it to my attention. He asked me to do the song and in merengue. I'm like, sure, of course. It's a beautiful song. Um, the arranger was Alex Mancilla. And basically, he did the arrangement, and I flew to DR to do the recording over there. That's where we recorded in Alex Mancilla's studio. We did the recording, and years later, I'm seeing that a year later that I'm getting a Latin Grammy for singing this song. So I'm very happy
That's
about that.
beautiful. That's beautiful. Was you surprised that you got an award for it?
I He had told me that, you know what, he actually predicted this. He told me you and I are going to win a Latin Grammy together. He actually said that to me when we recorded the song. I said, cool. I didn't think nothing of it, but I'm like, okay, cool. No problem. And I remember my producer, Remy Nunez, the one that actually, he's the one that did the arrangement for Ike, the one that you were talking about a little while ago.
Hmm.
He started texting me and I was busy. I remember I was recording or doing something that day. He kept texting me. He kept calling me and I kept telling him, I'll call you back. right? I'll call you back because I was busy. And he texted me like 500 times. I'm like, what's going on? And he finally texted me saying, let go and stop whatever you're doing. You just got nominated for a Latin Grammy. That was the first time. So I'm like,
Wow.
what? So oh no, wait, let me retract. That was when I was in DR on doing some interviews in DR for my promotions with Ike, and when I got nominated, and I was actually in a TV interview live, and I was so surprised that I was able to say it, that I just got nominated for a Latin Grammy. So, but when we actually won, he texted me and called me. I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? When I finally stopped what I was doing, and I because of the text, he goes, stop what you're doing. You just won a Latin Grammy. So I'm like, so of course I stopped whatever thing I was doing, and I called him, and he started yelling and screaming, oh my god, and so did I. So it was very exciting. And then I called Sergio, of course. He was like, congratulations, amongst hundreds of people, you and I won a Latin Grammy this year. I'm like, oh my god, thank you, that was
That's
awesome.
beautiful. That's awesome. That's beautiful. Is there anything new that you're working on right now, or nothing right now?
Yes, yes, absolutely. So basically, in fact, I was in DR last week because that's where we're producing and recording the rest of the songs for the album. It's going to come out hopefully beginning of summer,
Hmm.
and I finished two more songs a little like a week ago. Ike will be one of the singles that is going to be included in there, and so is
Great.
Bailo para Inspirarte, one of the ones that I wrote that I released the year before. So yes, I am working on a new album. It's going to be distributed by a very actually I'm working with a record label called JNN Records, and they will be
Hmm.
the ones distributing the album. So yes, very exciting stuff.
That's good news. That's good news. Before we leave,
Yes.
I want to ask you a question. It is my understanding that you sang the national anthem in Yankee Stadium. What was that all about? How did you get to that?
Oh my goodness. I actually did that twice. I remember the first time was in 98 when Senora was first a big hit. They asked me to do the for the first time in Yankee Stadium. Then I did it again a couple of years later. But I also sang it in November for the Caribe, La Serie del Caribe in City
That
Field as
Serie
well. In
Domingo, yes.
Puerto Rico. So I'm actually very happy. That's one of my. I love doing the national anthems. It's so emotional for me. For me, it's very emotional. I love it. So I'm very happy
When you
and
did it
very.
in Yankee Stadium, were you nervous at the beginning when you started?
The first time I did it, oh yes. The first time
Yeah,
I did
because
it,
it's a large crowd. Yeah.
yes, because I was like, it's a huge place. It's amazingly huge, and I was by myself right behind home plate in this huge stadium, and I was like, oh my god, I had never done it before. So yes, I was very nervous, but it came out great, and people were very happy with it, and they applauded really nicely, and I was very happy. So it was good.
That's
I
good
always
news.
get a little nurse. I don't know if nervous is the word, because I always get anxious right before I get on stage or before I'm going to do any kind of performance. But I always tell myself, if I'm not anxious or a little bit nervous, is because I wouldn't care anymore. So the day that I'm not nervous, at least a little bit, or at least anxious, is like, is a time to stop. And I think that's not going to happen anytime soon, because I intend to sing until the good Lord says it's enough.
I hear that. I hear that. Well, let me tell you this thing in behalf of the family of the Grapevine. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for being our special guest and sharing all those beautiful memories and things that you've accomplished. And let me tell you something, young lady. There's more for you to accomplish. You have the
Amen.
attitude, you have the
Thank,
capacity, and you got the know-how, and you sure enough have the ability. Keep keeping on. We love everything you have to do.
thank you
Trust
so
me.
much. I really appreciate your support and all the support of the people watching and my public. I love you guys so much. You have no idea. When I am singing and what I hear and what I receive from the people, that's what I feel. That's how I feel the love, and that's what I want to give when I sing and share what I have inside is lots of love for everyone. And remember, if you want to follow me and want to see what I'm doing, just go to my Instagram, my TikTok, and all my social media. Miosotis Music. Okay, that's where you'll find me. Miosotis Music. I.
He's right. Excellent. And again, thanks so much for being our special guest on the Grapevine. And we hope to hear from you and we stay in touch with you. And again, this is Wallingford Lee saying good night for the International Grapevine and saying to you, we hope that you'll enjoy this program. We're on every week with great singers like this young lady and sometimes politicians. And again, thanks for watching our program and good night.
Si nos culpan o no.